Hello and welcome to The Shrewdness. This is our second episode of the new Shrewdness podcast. We officially launched last week and we're back for more. Thanks for joining us today. Today's episode, we're going to talk about some Royals news, some Chiefs news, touch on the NBA and NHL playoff updates, maybe some talk about Caitlin Clark and her effect on the WNBA. And then we'll finish off with some time to meet the shrewdness and talk about a fun topic for the week. So with all that said, welcome to the show. Guys, take it away.
How's it going out there, shrewdness listeners? All 13 of you.
That's right. We're going to get up to 14 this week. Let's do this. All right, so let's hit into the Royals right off the bat. So I know we were super excited last week, even though we had just embarked on a 2-game losing streak after our 8-game winning streak. We were like, no, I think we're looking up. And then this week happened. We got a flat tire. We dropped 3 of 4 to Minnesota, 2 of 3 to the Padres. That being said, let's hear it from our host stand here. What do we think? Is it all just doom and gloom now? Chisholm, what do we think? Are we doom and gloom? Is it over?
So here's the deal. I probably shouldn't be this influenced by the last game, but I am. And here's why.
It was sweet.
To me, that was a defining point in a season. So we got outplayed the whole series by the Padres. They're a damn good team. Let's just be honest. That lineup is really scary, and the the bullpen was ridiculous. So, we could have easily gotten swept in that series, even though we showed fight at the end of both the first 2 games, had a great comeback at the end of the second game. We're still behind. And the third game, traditionally, the old Royals mail that game in. When they get down, they mail that game in. For the last 5 years, they've mailed that game in.
We've seen it on repeat.
So, forever. So the fact that, this team down 2 games in the series, they know they can't win the series. They're down significantly going into the 9th inning, down 2 runs in the 9th inning, found a way to win that game. And here's the difference, guys. The difference is being 5 games back at Cleveland going in or 4 games back. And you think that's not a big deal, but it is. It's a big deal. Now we're within 4 games at Cleveland. We've got some positive momentum, but more importantly to me, it showed the fortitude of the team and the attitude that these guys have, that they're never going to stop. They're always going to keep coming. And I love that. I absolutely love that.
It kind of reminds us of the 2014-2015 Royals teams, I dare say, with at least the attitude. But go ahead, Lou.
Started to say. Go ahead, Lou.
Counter flipping point, man. What we have done has not been sustainable. And the biggest thing is strikeouts on both sides of the ball. All right? Our pitchers don't strike anybody out. And when you don't strike people out, batting average with balls in play will even out. And you're gonna lose a lot of those games. You gotta miss bats, as they say.
But Lewis,
they try missing bats.
They try hard.
Yeah, so do my kids. They still suck. All right.
And they're wearing helmets already. It's good. They'll be fine.
No, I'm kidding. My kids don't suck. Whatever. So, but anyways, that's the whole point. Is that the things that are going to continue to haunt them is they can't win a close game. I mean, you say 2015, 2014 Royals, who had in the history of baseball some of the absolute most dominant pens you've ever seen. Literally,
HDH, baby. HDH.
Our closer will allow 4 runs in an inning to the point where they won't even let him close.
Yeah, right? I think we've lost our closer.
Is that a problem? Is that a problem?
We ain't playing White Horse anytime soon, sons. Okay. For anybody who doesn't know, White Horse is his cool intro from Chris Stapleton. Yeah, his walk-up song. That ain't happening. He's not walking through those doors anytime soon. So, look, am I hopeful? Do I want to get in there and get in a big old circle, Jay, with the rest of you on how excited I am over the way the Royals are going to be playing over the next,
bring the
3 months?
Man.
Ain't happening. Ain't happening. I'm a little bit nervous. They might
Don't
make
worry,
the playoffs. They might
fans. I know how to edit now, so.
I'm telling you, I really agree with you. The things that are most concerning to me were, as they have been, the bullpen has always been concerning, and bats 6 through 9, now 5 through 9 with Massey out. So the bullpen, though, actually full-on caught a virus this last week where everyone just sucked. Like, it was like ugly. A parade of hits. Everybody who came in was hitting for the Padres. And matter of fact, I think they had their most runs scored in, like, franchise history or something in that inning in the second game. It was really bad. We need some different people. For sure. We're going to have to bring some new arms in.
Are you referencing the 9-run inning they gave up?
Dear God.
And still came back. They were one quick hit from doing that, but that's not sustainable stuff, man.
Pruitt, what were you going to pop in with? You had
Well, I did. I heard some of the same language, right? 2014, 2015. This team's got a lot of fight. We never say die. It's not over till the final out of the 9th inning, and they've showed that recently. To your point, you got to have a little more than that to be a sustainable team for the long haul. It's great that they can come from behind one time and score a bunch in the 9th inning, but
one time,
I watched the game. The only game I've been to this year was the opposite. They were one strike away from winning the game and gave up a 3-run homer and lost.
It's you. You're the problem.
I've only been to one, and that was
away from the K. Stay away from the K.
Guy.
They're volatile. They're highly variable. They can be fun to watch. That doesn't mean they're going to be like sustained good.
Yeah. Okay. No,
I'm a little concerned with the Waka deal. I'm concerned with the Waka deal. That's bad. I mean, I will say that's pretty ballsy though that you finished the game with a cracked foot. I mean, he actually finished the game. It was the first play of the game. He gets a line drive off his foot and he finishes the game. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they just put his sock in the Hall of Fame with Schilling.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now is it Lynch? I guess it's Lynch. Is that it?
Lynch.
I think it's soon to be, and I think Lewis may have some on this, but Bubic, he's done his 4th rehab start, and he did really well last time. I think he had 7 strikeouts in 5 or 6 innings.
I saw late June, I think, before he's being brought up.
That's a couple weeks, though. That's not bad.
Late June is not. That's
I thought
like
it was a little
max.
earlier.
That's like max.
Yeah.
Okay.
Early June is the earliest, and he's actually doing really well. But at the same time, he's not going to hit that spot in the rotation. It's going to be a Lynch for 1 or 2 starts. That has to happen. Yeah. But then, I think it's going to be sooner than you think.
I like Lynch to the bullpen. Let's do this.
I do too.
I like seeing those guys that have the stuff to be a starter, but then focus on their 2 best pitches and dominate in a bullpen.
I love that idea.
Luke Koshaber.
I love that idea for Lynch because we've seen he's a 5 ERA starter. So it's like, what do you do when you take him down to his 2 best pitches? I like the idea. Like, let's try it. What's the worst that can happen? I mean, dear God, look at the rest of the guys out there.
What do? You take him down to his 2 best pitches? I don't know. You have Brady Singer.
Brady Singer's good.
He's only got 2 pitches.
Yeah, really good ones, though.
One every 100, he throws a change in there.
Yeah, that's a third offering. Yeah.
When you take him down to his best 2 pitches, you teach him a new pitch? Is that it?
He's on a staff with people who throw 7 pitches, and everybody is innovating. Waka was innovating before he got hurt. Like, he was doing things he hadn't done in his entire career. And I want to protect and love Singer, and I always remember when they signed him and he bought a house for his parents. He seems like a great guy.
Yeah, he does.
But could you just learn a 3rd pitch? Anything.
Maybe one of these off seasons he'll try that out. I mean, he's had 4. I mean, maybe just try it out.
It's tough to do. Look, it's easy enough for us to say. It's tough to do.
Unless you're in Tampa or Houston.
7 pitches. My first thought was Major League 2. Rick Vaughn learns all these other pitches and crap, and then halfway through the movie, it's like we're scrapping all that. We're going back to the straight heat.
The old number 1.
Well, I'm talking Lugo, man. Lugo has 7 freaking pitches.
Yeah.
It's insane to the point where Lugo in the 6th and 7th inning just throws fastballs down the middle of the plate, and everybody's so torn up from all of his 3,500 revolutions per minute curveballs that they're just like, okay, I'm not going to swing because I was waiting for this other thing to happen and it didn't happen. So
that's right. But that being said, Lewis, even with the 2 pitches, we're talking 4-2 with a 2.63 ERA and a 1.12 WHIP. I mean, dear God, I will take that all day with 2 pitches.
It's 100 pitches going into the 5th inning too. It's crazy. He just wastes pitches like nobody I've ever seen.
He does throw a lot of pitches per inning. You're right, and
barely get into the sixth.
All right, I want to hit up on MacArthur. We already talked about it a little bit, but the most disturbing stat I had, and I also kind of want to do a question. The batting average against is 320. Let's just say in a hypothetical parallel universe, Rutrow bats against MacArthur. Does the 160 win or does the 320 win? Like, which card would he roll in Strato, the 1, 2, 3 or the 4, 5, 6?
I'm still going. I still think Rutrow strikes out.
That's where I'm at, too. I think MacArthur wins this. It's like, who I can beat is Rutrow. And you know what, the big thing that was about Sunday's comeback win? You know who wasn't playing? You can take a guess. I don't know.
I know.
Who was?
I got one guess. I got one guess. Lose man. Was
Lewis
not
his favorite
in the
player
lineup.
on the Royals. He doesn't want to DFA.
Lewis this weekend bought 200 Renfro jerseys.
He's got his rookie cards.
Dude, I got
fan mail. There's like 8 fan mails from North Carolina.
I got the alternate 2001 black Hunter Renfro jersey. All right.
He's a wild card for that bullpen. Anyone know what's going on with Jordan Lyles? Anyone?
No.
Anyone?
Stone silence.
Nothing?
Internet doesn't know anything.
He's out till June 12th is the latest I saw.
I don't even think it's appropriate to speculate because we'd probably get in trouble.
That's probably true.
I agree.
The guy got married last year, just about a year ago. Having had issues. And just saying.
I agree.
He's 32 years old on his first marriage. 1 year into the marriage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do some math, people.
Yep. I think you may be onto something there. There's a lesson out there. Do not get married.
Especially if you're in the major leagues, especially.
I mean,
in the Royals,
it can't be his health. It can't be his health. Because
not at this point.
That would be no, not even at this point. They can't use the same list. He's on a list that has nothing to do with his health. So it's something else. He's technically out of baseball. He's kind of like half retired. The Royals have retained his rights should he ever come back to baseball. That's the weird kind of list he's on. So it's got to be something like my postulated. I have no knowledge. I know nothing. But I'm just kind of going with what sounds like the most plausible.
It could be the marriage thing. It also could be 31 starts with a 6.28 ERA last year that really jacked with his head too. I don't know. That could send somebody on that list too, where they just keep putting you out there.
He had
just the crap beat out of you. That's every fifth start, and they keep putting you on the bump.
I was super excited. I'm super excited because he hadn't allowed a run in his all year. He's got a 0.00 ERA, and I was kind of excited, but it was a little bit of the Fresh Prince syndrome, where it's like cool that he has it, but he also not missing bats. It's playing with fire. This is going to burn him, which we found with the Fresh Prince. That dude, he's gonna hit a bat, and when he hits a bat, bad things are gonna happen.
Right.
All right. And I want to go on one more thing. So we saw one more week of Melendez. He only got worse.
Oh.
We just, I think, so Garrett Hampson, I didn't even know, because he didn't play that much. He had a 7-game hit streak that ended Sunday because he came in late as a defensive replacement, which we also talked about last week. But I don't know. Do you split Hampson or Blanco, fill Melendez's spot?
Hampson's fine.
Hampson
hits
fine.
320.
I know. He is hitting 320.
He's fine as long as he's not running on the bases.
Yeah, literally the whole get on the base sketch from Saturday Night Live. If anybody hasn't seen it, go Google it or whatever you got to do. Boomer here is calling it. Go watch it. That's what I want to do with Garrett Hampson. I will chain you to a pipe in a space if you do not get the man, Garrett Hampson.
He was the Tip Bland hero for us this year. He really is Tip Bland leader for the Royals. It's
brutal. Hey, Pruitt.
But you're right. He's hitting over 300.
Hey, Melendez has one hit that traveled more than 90 feet in the last 2 weeks.
Well, hey, that's saying something.
I have to say, he has at least had some at-bats that have gone like 7-8 pitches. For me, the way I view baseball, that's some success. Like that. Yeah. That helps
it doesn't
other
result
people
in anything positive
for him, but it helps other people have success. Okay, stressing the pitcher.
Yeah, no, there's something to be said about getting the pitch count up. I actually like it. I like seeing at least 5 pitches in at bat. It's pretty good. Unless you get the first one down the middle, then whale that thing, right? But
he's.
I just want Lewis to do that reaction. That's my favorite thing is to get Lewis on there. He doesn't like hits. Lewis wants everybody to walk.
From May 21st till now, he's 2 for 27 with a home run and 2 walks.
Lewis's favorite play in baseball is a walk, so those are his 2 favorite plays.
That's about as bad as you can get as a regular starter in the major leagues.
All right.
I can't believe he's still a regular starter.
Pruitt, I want to get your take.
Equal wins, people.
Real quick. So Pruitt, sitting in Kansas City, the only one that actually is, how is the town feeling sitting where we are on our 1-game win streak when we got Cleveland coming to town, then Seattle, then the Yankees, then the Dodgers? So also known as the leader of our division, the leader of the West Division, the leader of the National League West Division, and the leader of the National League East Division. What is the mood of the city like? And tell me what's
predictably quiet, I think. People are probably waiting for the wheels to fall off. They're watching the hubcaps, just seeing the lug nuts loosen themselves and waiting for the wheels to fall off.
They're waiting for Patrick Mahomes.
God bless you.
Okay. To start doing magic things that he does, so...
The magic of Mahomes.
My biggest question about this upcoming stretch is how many Aaron Judge home runs will be hit off of our bullpen? Aaron Judge has 21 dongs right now and 47 RBIs.
So my deal,
he's got 63 hits, so one of his 3 hits is a home run.
He won't have to wait till the bullpen.
What? No.
He also gets Alec Marsh. He also Cole Reagans hangs a couple here and there, even though he's done a couple good last starts. But he didn't get the win, obviously, Sunday, but he gave us a good game.
Yeah,
that's what we need.
This will be. We said it a couple weeks ago. It's like we got to have a good week against the Brewers and whoever else we were playing that was up near the top. This is an even bigger defining moment for the Royals this year.
With the poop in the punch bowl. So Alec Marsh. Let's get to the Alec Marsh.
There we go.
Alec Marsh. People aren't swinging anymore.
No.
They figured it out. He doesn't throw strikes, and they look like strikes. They're not strikes. So there's been an increase in patience. Multiple teams have scouted him and realized, dude doesn't throw strikes. And so if we don't swing, he has to come to us. And now that he's coming to people, they're getting better pitches, and they're scoring a lot more runs. We've got problems with Alec Marsh.
Yeah. I mean,
I've noticed that too. He does not attack the zone. When he does, he's very effective. When he does not, lots of base runners, and then he grooves one and lots of extra base hits.
Well, let's be honest, though. Alec Marsh is house money. I mean, he's house money. No one. Yes.
He's our 5th starter still.
Cool. Nobody would have thought. Nobody would have thought Alec Marsh would do this. But no one. You're liars if you all thought Alec Marsh was going to be this good.
He's a freaking opener. Then he's not a starter. Let's stop with the nonsense.
All right, maybe he's an opener.
He's a 3-inning. We've got to reconceptualize him. He's not a starter because they're not putting up with this nonsense anymore. He just throws it on strikes.
We were walking into the bar as 3s, and we were hoping to get a 4 that night. Alec Marsh showed up. We thought he was a 7, and he's not. He's a 4. But that's probably that's in our range. I mean, that's in our range. Like it feels right.
So he had 4 starts in April to mid-May. 4 starts where he gave up a total of 2 runs.
Boom.
His last 3 starts, he's given up 13 runs. To Lewis's point, Lewis had a great point. Teams have figured him out now. They're like, we can be a lot more selective. He's going to be wild.
Scouting thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's going to be
just
wild.
sobered up.
And once we show some patience, we're going to light this guy up.
Once you see more of any person, that's what happens. I mean, in the same game. I think that's the walk-up problem. It's the third time through the lineup. Third time through the lineup.
The same thing happened. And then he was like, Seth Lugo was like, cool. I'm going to adjust on the fly to you adjusting. They've actually shown this on some of the broadcasts where people are like, oh, we're not going to like fall for your nonsense. And then he changes his game in the middle of the game to adjust. He might give up a home run that's his like Achilles heel, but it's amazing. Like this guy is performing at a level that is not normal for a 33-year-old, 34-year-old. I don't have it off the top of my head. It's amazing how much better this guy has gotten as he's gotten older. It's like
he and Salvi drank from the same fountain in the offseason.
Hang tight. Who knows his nickname?
Cy.
I like Cy Lugo that Chisholm's been throwing out.
He's got a real nickname. It's even on the old Wikipedia for boomers like me.
Really? What is it?
You ready?
Haka Lugo?
He's the Puerto Ricanian.
I don't even know what that means.
So he's a Puerto Rican?
He's a Puerto Rican, and he goes by the Puerto Ricanian.
Wow.
Yeah, no, his
Can we
dad
even say that on the radio?
His dad at like age 50-something played for the Puerto Rican national team in the World Baseball Classic. Like even at like age, I think it was 50. Yeah, for real. It's like hilarious.
I mean, it doesn't really roll off the tongue though. Puerto Rican, does it?
It's terrible. Just go with Cy Lugo. Just Chisholm, you gotta fan mail him. You can send it in when Lewis sends in his fan mail to Rutro and like, hey man, tell Lugo his new nickname is Cy Lugo. All right, so let's do last thing on the Royals. What do we think? Can we go 500 in this stretch against all division leaders? What do we think?
How many games?
I think it's 12.
You're saying over the next 12 games, what is the record over 12 games is a better question.
Can we? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got.
I mean, if we go 6-6,
3 Mariners, 4 Yankees, 3 Dodgers. So that's whatever.
Okay, so it's
games.
13 games.
3-9. I'm calling 3-9, and I don't think it's close.
Well, that
all right. 12. So you got the massive. Yeah. Is there a tie in there? You're gonna tie in there somewhere else.
That's right.
You said 12 games. They're winning 3 of 12 of that like stretch. Is there more?
Good job.
They played 13.
It's 13 now.
It's 3-10.
3-10.
3-10. Jesus, there's no way. We'll be lucky to win the 3.
What if we had 14? Would you go 3-11?
When will they win again? Dark Rain Cloud has showed up in full force.
I'm gonna say they win 1 of 3 against the Guardians. They win 2 of 3 against the Mariners.
Okay.
I'll say they.
Gives a good look of disdain.
Maybe they split with the Yanks.
Disdain.
They're at home against the Yankees. I say they win 2 of 4 against the Yankees.
Swept.
And then they're swept by the Dodgers in LA.
Swept by both the Yankees and Dodgers. And we got people jumping off the Western Auto sign.
I'm saying 5-8.
All right, 5-8.
Okay, what are you at, Chisholm?
Wait, how's it 5-8? It's 13 goddamn. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I don't do math. I just drink old fashions. Oh,
that is staying in the content. That is staying in this week.
Absolutely. Good Lord. All right, I'm going 6 games. We're gonna win 6. We're probably gonna go a little under, but we're not gonna get swept in any of them.
6-6.
6-7. That's right. Good Lord.
I think they do 6-5 and then 2 after that.
You're kidding me. 8 wins? Are you
carry
kidding
the one.
Me?
No,
Are you kidding
here's
me?
what I sincerely believe. I have written down here 6-7, and I think if 6, like Dexter, if they go 6-7, they'll go on to the playoffs.
Yeah.
If they go 6-7 in this stretch, they're going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's my call.
These are all the
currently
playoff
have
teams.
a better record than the Mariners, so they should be able to compete with them.
Yeah, they kind of got dominated by the Mariners earlier this year, so
yeah.
Throwing this out there.
But Guardians, Dodgers, and Yankees. I don't know if we can hang with them. So
sounds like people didn't watch Sunday's game yesterday and see the spunk in this team to see what they can do. Right. They're never down. They're never dead. 6-7 though.
Right.
I didn't say a winning record. I said 6-7.
6 and 7 that's phenomenal against that stretch. If we do that, 6 7 will be phenomenal. So, hey, my league update real quick. I wanted to give you guys a little update because I got a little excited because Blake Mitchell, who was our number 1 pick last year, who has just been an absolute turd in a punch bowl since he arrived. Over the last 10 games, this isn't world beating at single A, but he's at 275. His slugging's up to 625. He had a 2 home run game the other day. So in the last 10 games, he's hit 4 home runs. There's signs of life from young Blake Mitchell. He may actually learn how to hit the ball. So that, was a little positive in your number 1 overall pick. I mean, he's not an Orioles draft pick or anything, but, there's a little side there. I also wanted to point out, as I did on our X, by the way, follow us on X if you get a chance, the Shrewdness on X, that since May 1st, our vaunted Omaha Storm Chasers are like 26-5 or something ridiculous. Like, they are just on fire. They're having a heck of a season. They've got a lot of good chemistry. A lot of guys that are learning how to win. And I know that people say in the minors it doesn't matter, but it does. The teams that won in 2014 and 2015, they won at every level in the minors. They learned how to win in the minors.
They did.
They brought it up to the majors. So I like to see the minor league teams winning.
Yep. I do too. I think it's good.
Good point.
And when are we bringing somebody up? And who are we bringing up? Who's the bat we bring up? Is it Waters?
I like Waters just because let's give him his shot.
No, have y'all not seen the drama? There's drama. He's not been in the lineup for 2 straight days.
I thought that's because he's getting called up, but he's not. Is he hurt?
He could be getting called up. He could be hurt, or he could be traded. People are talking that he might have been traded, and they're about ready to announce that. No. We are on the cusp of something happening at once.
Unless he got traded for.
All right. Well, we need to do something with him.
I think it's time. Yeah, I think it's time to mix it up a little bit.
Something is happening, though. That's not been decided, but something is happening.
Okay. All right, so let's we'll revisit the Royals probably every week this summer as we continue through their season here.
Absolutely.
But let's move on for now. Let's hit on the Chiefs.
The Chiefs going to their summer home, I think.
The summer home, exactly. We have to go to our summer home, in D.C. at the White House to go celebrate our victories and collect our spoils. And I just like it when the president wears a Chiefs hat. Put the old helmet on there.
Me too.
That was cool. I don't care. It was fun. I liked it.
I don't know that he knew he was wearing a helmet, but it was pretty awesome that he was wearing it.
But he's at least protected if he fell again. That's a good thing.
Absolutely. And Travis
for everybody.
The editorials there. Stop the editorials. Thank you very much.
He actually called Travis Kelce to the mic. Travis was very respectful. It's like,
wow, that was weird.
It was.
Yeah.
It's like, I got told if I came up here, I would be tased, so I'm going to go back to my spot now. Good call,
That's
Mr.
our
Kelce.
Travis.
Yeah.
That's our Travis. Yeah.
So I've been kind of monitoring the interwebs for those young folks out there who don't know what the internet is called. Did you guys know that the Patriots were trying to trade up with the Bills to get Xavier Worthy?
Really?
Yeah.
I was unaware of
this.
this.
Out a couple different sites that not only the Patriots but a couple other teams. The Xavier Worthy pick is looking more and more shrewd.
Oh,
it is
indeed.
I see
what you did there. I see what you did there.
Oh, yeah.
I
mean,
the Chiefs have a plan when they trade up to get a guy.
With Buffalo.
Well, the Bills don't know it.
We're about ready to
Maybe we
fleece somebody.
Broadcast that, but
yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Bills picked Keon Coleman, who is a phenomenal personality, as we all realized, like right out of the gate from his press. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in for our Gio segment. I think he's going to be the most overdrafted wide receiver in Guillotine this year because everyone loves him. They think he's great. They think he's funny. They're like Josh Allen, the Bills, and he's going to be the new guy. No, he's going to be the most overdrafted in Guillotine. That's my call.
I can honestly tell you Shakir is going to be a better probable overall pickup. He already knows the offense, and he already showed he's a much better overall points per perception guy. I would definitely look at him first right now, unless something changes in the offseason.
I agree. What else news we want to talk about the Chiefs? Did you guys you see the Chris Jones tweet that he put out last week? Chris Jones put out 20+ sacks. That was the tweet. That is his prediction for this season. 20+ sacks. I gotta say, I've been a bit of a Jones. I don't want to say nice here because the dude just always comes through.
God bless a detractor. That's what you are.
I'm probably a detractor because I'm always challenged because he takes plays off. He takes plays off, he takes series off, and let's be honest, he takes games off. There are games when he's just like, whatever. I'm mailing it in, I'm not going to do it. No, the games that matter, he's always there. I will 100% give him credit for that, but he tends to take plays off. And I started to worry a little bit when we re-signed him last year that he might not be the kind of guy who is going to be ultra-motivated to win now that he's got his money. He got a incentive-laden contract last year, which allowed him to make money by doing well, which I liked, fully supported, knowing kind of how he plays. I'm still going to go on record saying I'm concerned about Chris Jones this year because he's paid. He's paid and he's 29, so I'm a little scared. But I really liked seeing him make that tweet because that made me think, okay, well, maybe he's a little motivated going to see it. What do you guys thoughts on Jones?
I think players like Jones, when you get an opportunity to do something nobody's done before.
Yeah, he's chasing legacy.
Yeah, he's motivated in a different way this year. It's, okay, we've already done it twice. This is our chance to stick it to the world, so to speak. Everybody's going to have us on their calendars circled. We're going to play our A game against the Chiefs. We do it a third time, and our names all go down in history.
Chris Jones is chasing history. He has in his graphs to be in like the top 5 ever defensive linemen to ever play the game. If he gets a 4th ring and is a dominant presence on a 4th team, he is going to be talked about in hallowed halls of like not only wearing his gold jacket, but like, yeah, he's in like the second tier of like the best of the best.
The Reggie Whites of all time type guys.
Yeah, Reggie White doesn't have his rings. All right.
Yeah.
This is not, we're dealing with something where I think he actually gets the gravitas of the situation. And I think we're going to get a different Chris Jones, but we've only got 1 or 2 of those Chris Jones max. It might only be 1. All right.
Yeah. That's what I'm betting.
I think we're losing on this contract. Quick. Yep. He's not a running back.
Yeah, we're definitely losing.
We got one.
We won't lose if we can get 1 Super Bowl out of him.
It.
Yeah, we will win with 1 Super Bowl. Then it's a good
plan. And so keep in mind, too, they re-signed pretty much their entire defensive line. It's not like he's gaining or losing a bunch of help. He's still got Karlaftis. He's still got Wharton. He's still got FAU. He's, there's other guys that have been around. They know Spagnuolo's system, all that.
In Spags we trust.
Well, I will say this too.
A lot of similarity to last year's defense.
The question I would put out there is, what is doing something that no one has ever done worth? And is it worth a bad Chris Jones contract? I would say yes. I would say overpaying Chris Jones to be able to be the only team that's ever three-peated, I would say yes. And the other comment I'd have on Chris Jones, Liz, let's not forget there's the numbers, the titles that he's got. He also has the 40 schlong story, which adds to the Hall of Fame credential, I believe. Like, that is something you take into account.
You joke, but it adds this like mythos.
The lore is there with Chris
I've shared
Jones.
That video 1,000 times. And I shared it before we drafted him. I'm like, can you believe this happened? And also, can you believe a guy like has a thing in the stuff and blah, blah, blah. Wow.
Uniform malfunction.
Well, if old Brian Lewis running that 40, we're not going to have that same problem.
Yeah, but the thing is, he had 3 legs to run it. So it just helps.
He only has to be...
From non-boomers, go ahead and Google Chris Jones 40 draft combine.
Yeah.
And then y'all figure your own stuff out.
It'll be Borkled 2/3 as fast as everybody else because he's got...
It'll be Borkled as hell.
I swear
I got one more thing I want to bring up just to see how it might impact the Chiefs' future signings is Justin Jefferson's deal. with the Vikings. 4-year, $140 million. Totally just
Chiefs, what about that, Dex?
Anything ever.
Dex? The suspense is killing me, Dex.
The suspense is killing us, John.
Oh my gosh. I am here. I'm talking. So 4-year, $140 million, $110 million guaranteed.
Hey, by the way, Dex, that contract assured the Vikings of returning back to insignificance for the next 4 years. Like, that is the worst idea of to pay a wide receiver that kind of money. I know you're a homer, but you cannot feel good about that.
I think it's going to break the other teams too, though. It's not good for anybody.
Pause.
He's not the only one.
Fine. The salary cap's going up. They are doing this in anticipation of the salary cap going up. And when it goes up, this is not going to look as bad as it looks right now. It's not what the Eagles did with Devontae Smith. That was highway robbery at this point. But it's still this is fine.
Saw Jaden Waddle got paid a lot this week too.
But not that.
Don't do that. Don't do this. Like, okay, just look at the last two dynasties. Look at the last two. How much are they paying their wide receivers? Nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. This is not the path. Wide receiver is not the path.
It's Jefferson's 4-year deal.
It's a 4-year deal, and he'll probably be good for 2 of it.
Again,
how old is he?
As somebody in Guillotine who took him first overall or second overall in the entire draft, not super excited to pay a guy who didn't play anything.
Half the season. Yeah, the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Cost me a substantial amount. Yeah. Cost me a substantial amount of money, I'll tell you what.
But going from a Guillotine perspective, though, I think Justin Jefferson has to take a hit this year anyway, because it's just no way.
Because he's got me thrown to him?
That's right. Darnold and McCarthy are not quite Kirk Cousins. It's true. It's true.
Oh, my God. And then you just said they're not quite Kirk Cousins, so they're not quite mediocre.
Jeez. Kirk Cousins, I believe, was leading the league when he got hurt.
With all respect to mediocre.
You liked him enough to pick him number 1 last year, dumbass. Justin Jefferson with Kirk Cousins throwing.
Cousins.
Well, he was throwing to him.
Till he moved 3 inches to his right and popped his Achilles out of. Stop it. I'm not.
He's 5 years older than
$60 million to the Falcons. So you're right, John. He's not mediocre. He's a $160 million man.
To the Falcons, who then drafted another quarterback.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
The Vikings dodged a bullet, and then they just jumped in front of a bullet, right? Like, to like the Vikings, they're actually kind of a cool team, but like, I think you try to get what you can out of the situation. But whatever.
So there was words like in the draft. So when you heard that, like the Patriots may have tried to get Xavier Worthy, apparently the Vikings were trying to go up to get Malik Neighbors. It's from I think it was Adam Schefter. I can't remember who it was, but that's who they said that was the trade they were trying to do. And I'm like, that says something. I don't know. So obviously they didn't trade, so they must have had the hardship and stuff.
You're frozen again.
Oh my God, I'm not frozen. I'm not frozen.
God bless his content. He literally freezes when he's trying to make a point. Somebody call Bill Gates' ghost and see if you can help him out.
This is the most amazing website ever. It self-edits.
Self-editing. The thing is, I hear you guys the entire time.
How about this, Dex? When you want to make a point, Dex, just chat with one of us and we'll make it for you. How about those of us on PCs will make Dexter's point. I think what Dexter's trying to say from his Mac is...
Hold on. The tweet is coming in now.
I think it's probably all been...
No, defeats Truman!
I swear. Dexter, before the next podcast, will you tell your kids to stop picking up the phone so your AOL doesn't get knocked off the fly?
Yeah, I know. I created their MySpace account already, but they haven't got a hyperlink. Got that thing working. All right,
let's talk.
I want to do my 2 seconds about our Caitlin Clark effect. So I'll probably freeze out here.
Wait. First, last thing on the NFL today. R.I.P. Larry Allen, one of the greatest linemen I ever saw play. Really sad. Down in Cancun, evidently on vacation, passed away. R.I.P. Got to give a shout out. Was an incredible lineman.
Yep, he was awesome.
All right, now to Caitlin Clark.
All right, so we had talked during the NCAA tournament, like Caitlin Clark, and people actually watching the Final Four for the women's NCAA in record numbers, right? And so when they did that, we said, is it going to translate and go into the WNBA?
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, I know. Self-editing again. But the thing is, the fact is, 2 of the first 10 games have been the highest, basically 4 games, but 2 have been the highest in 2 decades of the WNBA, and it's all her games. And the thing is, they're even watching other games because they play against her and they don't like her. And so when you get to those points, the viewership has gone up.
So here's what I think Dex is trying to say is that the Caitlin Clark effect is real and that the ratings have gone up significantly since she's come into the league. Now the question is, can they hold on to those ratings? And is she going to adapt her game? Because what they're doing is they're beating her up. They're beating the crap out of her whenever they can, because that's going to be the test, right? It's WNBA. If you guys remember our hometown girl, Jackie Stiles, from a few years back, probably 20 now, she was the best college player in the land. She went to the WNBA. She won Rookie of the Year. But then they figured out they could beat the crap out of her, and she got injured over and over and over again, had to retire really early because she couldn't handle the beating. WNBA's tough. Can Caitlin handle the beating? That's what we're going to find out.
We'll find out. Speaking of beatings, let's go into the NHL and the NBA, because the NBA playoffs will start that. So it's a sweep and then a 5-game series. And then we're rolling in. I don't know. I like Dallas just because I just can't get enough of Luka. He's too good. And he's never won. I just cannot see him. There's no way he loses a series. So they may lose game 1 because they can never win game 1. But I like Dallas for this series. Even though they're the underdogs, that's kind of where I'm at. What do you think? Down in Dallasville, what's it look like?
Yeah, everybody's on the Celtics, and for good reason. I mean, they're stacked. They're definitely stacked. But, they've got ghosts. Jaylen Brown in particular, he's got a history of not performing in the playoffs. He's had a good playoff year this year. Can he take it into the finals? Boston has kind of underperformed the whole playoffs.
So. And they've had a very easy road.
Yeah. Very easy road. So they're going to be tested.
Had to absolutely slay Giants just to get where they're at.
We touched on that in a previous show we did, that they've had a much easier run. Boston has had a much easier run to this point. They're probably a little fresher. The odds are stacked in their favor right now. So it would be quite an upset if Dallas could pull it off.
For sure. There's also an interesting effect here, the Porzingis angle.
Yeah.
Who came to Dallas, was really, really poor while he was here. Never lived up to what he should have been. Did not pair well with Luka. Was hurt a lot. He's hurt again, but supposedly he's going to be playing. So I think it's going to be a great series. I think it's probably 6 or 7 game series.
I think it should be great. So who's your take, though? Who do you think is going to win?
I think Dallas is going to pull it off. I really do. I think this is where Luka puts his stake in the ground as becoming one of the generational talents. I think he's probably going to have a shot to win multiple titles over the next 5 years. And I think this is the one that he gets first. And it's because it's one that's it's not expected for him to win, but I think he's that good, and I think he's going to will the team to win. I like him, and I mean, obviously combined with what how he's playing.
That was what I started to say. That combination this year has found their groove. They're peaking at the right time. All comes down to a few more games.
My take is Dallas in 6, and which means absolutely throw everything you've got onto the Celtics sweep. All right?
Celtics sweep.
We got 4 people who are all in love with how Dallas is playing. Celtics sweep, the most uninteresting.
We are losing it. We are definitely losing this for sure. If we're all aligned, we figure this out during football season. You guys will be a part of this.
You just go against us and you're fine.
During football season, we figured out that if there's all 4 of us on a bet, It's going to be bad. This could be really bad.
So Boston
NHL
every game, baby. NHL.
So NHL, we've got
we got the podcast team. We got the podcast team.
That's right. The NHL, we have the most beautiful one side of a finals you could get with Edmonton. The history, the lore, the best player in the league, the entire country of Canada, and all of Edmonton excited and fired up for the finals. And on the other side, a team
Florida
that no one cares about.
At all.
Who's better, apparently.
And favored.
Really played great. Who's playing great. And, like, the 5 fans the Florida Panthers have are really going to enjoy this series. But I really can't hope. I have to believe, if for all that is good in the world, that Edmonton actually pulls this off. I want to see the Stanley Cup go back to Canada. I want to see the chaos and the hysteria that causes. I really want to see that, because if Florida wins, they're not even going to have a parade. I promise.
Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal for the Zoomers and the Ennials and the Wazoozles and whatever, all those other people out there who are not our age, all right? Edmonton was the Yankees when we were little. They were amazing. They were winning everything, and they were the whole kicking butt, taking names. Edmonton was the cream. And then, like, they got, like, weird, small marketed, and they lost all their pieces in over the course of, like, 2 or 3 years, lost all relevance for decades.
Yep,
and then
it really has been.
They got the guy, and they've built the team in a very smart way in our baseball brains that we, like, appreciate what Edmonton has done. It's been smart all the way through. I hate to be like Deserves ain't got nothing to do with it, but Deserves is on Edmonton's side.
That's right. That is right. I'm telling you, they do deserve it, and I really hope they can pull it off. I think it will be a good finals. I think it's going to be, unfortunately, a not very highly watched in the U.S. because you got Florida
that no one cares about.
If the Rangers had made it, that would have been ratings gold. Rangers and Edmonton would have been phenomenal for the NHL.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is, like, actually liked by the people of Florida, but the Florida Panthers aren't even really liked by the people of Florida.
No. It's so. I mean, I hope that it does well. I'm going to watch it because I think it's going to be great. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Any predictions on the series before we go into it?
I like Edmonton, so they'll lose.
I think we might be united again.
My call is Edmonton in 7 with the craziest ever final 7th game where we're all on our pins and needles till the very end.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be fun.
I'm going to go Florida in 6 and be the poop that rains on everybody's parade.
Yeah. And Pruitt's like, what's hockey?
I'm taking Edmonton. I agree.
It's soccer.
I agree with Lewis's take. Edmonton was the All-Stars back in the day, and I'm excited to see them return to form here.
So you're just nostalgia picking.
Yep,
that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
We picked on less.
We pick hockey like Dexter picks the NFL games. So
that's right, baby. Get ready to fade Dex's shrewdness. It's all good. Speaking of fading, let's talk about the 2 people who lost their picks last week and the one person who did not. So, funny how we're forgetting all this all of a sudden. So I chose that the Wolves would not get swept and did a money line, and then the Wolves came through and won their one game of the series. Thank you very much. At least I bet that game.
They did.
I bet all the other games lost all those too, so whatever. But I won that game.
They did.
That was a shrewdness pick.
Right.
Now, if I recall, Pruitt made his Royals pick. Did not work well that game. Part of the flat tire week. Rough week to pick a Royals win, especially by 1.5. That wasn't working at all. And then we had Chisholm, who picked Florida, was correct, but not by the 2-goal empty netter that he promised us all.
I predicted the
we went
minus
1-3 last week. 1-3 last week. Let's roll into our bets this week.
2.
Lewis didn't make it to the end last week. He got a flat tire before the Royals, but we're ready this time. Lewis, start us off in case you have more weather issues.
Picks this week, Lou?
I'm going crazy. Lewis is going nutso bazookas, right? Lewis is taking Finals MVP Luka Doncic plus 200.
Oh, hey, I like it. Plus 200. He's that high? He's a plus 200?
Bang. If what we believe is true, if
Who's
they're going to win, Luka's winning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's the favorite? Jalen?
Yeah,
You better
Jason
for that pick to
Tatum.
work out.
Oh, Tatum.
Tatum is minus 120. It's minus money on Tatum.
Huh.
I'm taking
I think that's a great pick.
Dallas wins.
That's a great pick.
Which we all believe is going to happen. I'm going to stick to our brand because I promise you Luka's winning the MVP.
Yeah, I agree.
If they
That's
win,
a
there's
good
no
pick.
other way.
That's actually really good value. It's good value. I like it.
All right, so we got one on the board for Lou. All right.
Okay. You want me to go?
Sure. Then I'll go next.
All right. So I have made quite a bit of money this NHL postseason with this strategy, and I'm going to go with it again. In game 1, Edmonton, Florida, we're going under 5.5 goals. What you see in the postseason is the defense gets tight, the goals get stingy. There's not a lot of goals, and every goal matter. So I'm going under 5.5 for game 1, Edmonton, Florida.
All right. I'm going to hop in, and I'm going to take Dallas plus 6.5 in game 1 because they might lose, but they're not losing by 7. Screw that. Kyrie and Luka are going to get closed out by more than 7. So I'm taking plus 6.5 Dallas this Thursday.
Okay.
Luka can't be put into a parlay, folks. I apologize up front.
That's all right. All right, Padog. What are we thinking?
I still take my pick.
No baseball best out of any of these sports.
Not last week.
Ugh, man, I hate to do it. But it's kind of a win-win for me if I bet on the Guardians because they play the Royals. So either the Royals are going to win.
True.
Or I'm going to win some money.
The emotional hedge.
The emotional
hedge. So
which one are you doing?
Tomorrow?
I'm going to take the Guardians by 1.5.
Ooh, you're going to go take. I thought you were taking the money line.
No, it's
a
plus 180.
Going to get our heinies handed to us is what you're calling.
Wow.
We're going to lose by 3. I'll say.
Okay.
It's going to be about 6-2, 6-3, something like that.
I love how we're going to lose by 1 and everything's going to suck.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the worst.
I'm going to take the Guardians. I've made quite a bit of money betting on the Guardians the last couple weeks.
But how much money have you made betting against Cy Lugo?
True.
Well, the game I bet for him, he gave up a 3-run homer and they lost the game.
So now you're just mad.
So the bets that can be put into a parlay, we have the Oilers and Panthers under 5.5. We have the Mavericks 6.5 plus in the game 1. We have the Cleveland Guardians to win by minus 1.5. And that gives us, if you want to round robin it, it's all 3 legs is plus 905. If you get each of the 2 legs, they're plus 371. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
905 is a nice little payday.
Yeah.
This is per FanDuel, who hopefully will be sponsoring us soon.
Yeah. We're available for sponsorship.
We'll whore ourselves as much as we can whore.
That's right. Absolutely.
Legal whoring.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Legally whoring. Legal.
Chisholm's in Mexico. That's all I got to say.
I'm in Mexico.
It is. They didn't build the wall fast enough.
Yeah, Chisholm, make sure you get the ping pong ball back. That's the important part.
That's exactly. For the shrewdest listeners, hopefully we're going to be having video accompaniment soon, but we're working on that technically. Right now, you can listen to us only on Spotify, so please subscribe on Spotify. We'll be setting up other channels right now. Socially, you can get us on Instagram and X and TikTok. The Shrewdness.
Yeah, don't forget, we've also got Lou Shrewdness. We got Prue Shrewdness. We've got hopefully a couple more Shrewdnessy X players coming up, and we're going to try to be as engaged as possible. You can always hit us up there. We do try to check in, and we tend to respond.
Yep.
Absolutely. What do we got to close this out?
One final topic. Meet the Shrewdness. We got a few minutes left here.
That's right.
Dex, did you want to introduce the topic this week? I know you had one you suggested. I was good with that.
Well,
do you remember
what
did
I suggest? I forgot what it was. I'm sure it was brilliant.
Favorite player. You didn't specify a sport, but I don't know. Do we want to say favorite baseball player?
I think any player, favorite player from your early teens.
Let's say. Yeah, but well, look, no Patrick Mahomes.
God bless you.
God bless you.
There we go.
That's you.
All right, so I think everybody in this particular group knows exactly which one I'm going to pick because it's the only poster I had on the wall for the entire time. I think I took it to college, too. It's my Will Clark poster, Will the Thrill.
Oh, yeah.
Modeled my left-handed swing exactly after him. I loved watching him play, even though he ended up with warning track power later in his career, barely. It was terrible, but he was so fun to watch.
Too, but yeah, sure.
In the sweet swing, right. I mean, basically, I just loved watching him play. I used to I did log on to AOL and ask how Will Clark did every day. I'm like, how did he do tonight? And it was just, oh, man, it was great. So
he's a surly SOB, wasn't he? He's a surly SOB.
Surly. He was surly.
I defer to Chisholm because I know who Chisholm can talk for me because we're going to pick the same guy.
No, I know. No, you go then. You go then. I'll add color.
Well, I might have been watching a certain Kansas City Royals baseball game just less than 36 hours ago, and somebody wore a specific T-shirt. I did comment on X, and it was the Bo Jackson 1986 baseball card, rather iconic. 85 was a rookie card, 86 was more iconic. Thank you very much. But in general, Chisholm and I, we would wear Bo shirts to school. We had Bo posters on our wall. We had the whole Bo Knows campaign.
Oh.
Anybody who doesn't know Bo, and all you can see are crazy, what looks like Mickey Mantle level like videos at this point of the kind of crazy stuff he did. But if you had lived through the time when Bo Jackson was superhuman, it felt like a Marvel character come to life in a baseball field.
Absolutely.
And I can never not love him, no matter how mediocre in reality he probably was.
No, that's probably right, but I still think he definitely was. I had all the Bo Jackson posters. One of my favorite gifts I ever received was actually from Brian Lewis, and it was that iconic card. Lewis, you probably don't remember this, but for those of you who are our Springfield listeners, I had my birthday party at Aladdin's Castle, the greatest place in Springfield.
Purple bag.
Rest in peace.
Chisholm's passed out.
And Lewis bought me that card for that birthday. It was phenomenal. It's still my favorite card. I have it. And I know he wasn't, if you look at the numbers, if you look at the football numbers, he actually was all that. He averaged like almost 6 yards a carry at a running back, which is insanity. But I do believe like some of the most amazing feats I ever saw on a baseball field were from Bo Jackson. He struck out a lot, but man, when he hit the ball, never seen a guy accelerate like him in the outfield. I've never seen a guy. He looked like Mike Trout before Mike Trout in terms of his build and like it was ridiculous. Bo, far and away, Lewis and I are aligned, and there's no one better than Bo Jackson and excellent on Tecmo Super Bowl either. It's just it's stupid.
It was the best.
Amen.
Stupid. True?
I've got a lot of players I remember growing up watching. To me, the one that stood out the most, and I waited for it every opening day, is I wanted to see Ozzie Smith come out and do his backflip.
Oh, man.
I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
It was Tewksbury, and that curveball was amazing.
He was
Ozzie Smith. Stop your St. Louis Cardinals nonsense.
The Wizard.
This is the St. Louis Cardinals podcast.
Hey, I also adore Bo Jackson. Anyway, if you're done, I always also loved watching Bo Jackson. He did some amazing things on the field. I thought Ozzie Smith was like the little brother equivalent of Bo Jackson. He did like amazing things, but in different ways. Definitely not the power, definitely not the speed. Just such a smooth infielder.
There wasn't a ball going through the infield over there. That was what's awesome.
He was
the best defensive
It's awesome.
He was the best defensive shortstop of our youth for sure. He was an amazing player in the field.
And he made sure that you would never watch the Royals in Springfield, Missouri in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. Very true.
No chance you were ever watching the Royals.
That was another reason why my aunt and uncle were from St. Louis, so we followed the Cardinals more back then. These guys were the ones who I went to games with, though. We drove up to Kansas City way more often than we ever went to St. Louis. So I have a lot of good Royals memories.
Which is a great topic for maybe the next Shrewdness.
Yes, I'll save mine for the next Shrewdness.
Maybe we could save a little tease for all you out there. Our favorite Royals memory maybe next week.
That'd be fun.
Royals memory.
Bingo, bango, bongo. Let's get moving.
All right. We'll wrap up the show for today. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate your support as we get this thing rolling. Lots more to talk about next week. Hopefully a new Royals win streak starts this week, or we'll have something hopefully not depressing to talk about when we get into that next week. Until then, this is the Shrewdness signing off. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.